Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment we've been waiting for, okay? So, if you remember, the triangle came out like this, but we're going to flip it like this, okay? So that's the way we're going to put it on. Just remember the shorter of the two bolts, okay? The shorter of the two bolts goes on the bottom. Okay, see how one is longer than the other? Okay? I will grease the bolts before we put it on. Okay? Okay, before we put this bad boy on, let's go grease it. Just on the part that, you know, it kind of moves around on, which is like pretty much the non-threaded part. Okay, you want to put grease over the non-threaded part. It helps keep dirt out too. So, I mean, it attracts dirt, but it also keeps dirt from getting to the important stuff. Okay, there's one. That's the long one. And like it'll wind up probably getting pushed out anyways, but at least you know there's a good seal. Okay. All right, let me just add a little bit more to this. All right, ready to go. Okay, so I'm gonna install this from the other end because that's the way the bolts go from left to right. Okay. Okay, here we go. It's a little tricky doing it from this side. So you kind of have to get it around the dog bones here. Shove it up in there. Hopefully I put it back together right. This is not wanting to go in. Okay. I'm gonna put the top one in first. Okay, so there's a certain way to get this bad boy in. Okay, it's basically the same way we took it out. Okay. Okay, so there's the bolt. It's already through the hole. To get it to clear the swing arm, you rotate it so the flat parts are up and down, okay? And you can pull the chain down a little bit so it doesn't get caught on the chain. Push it in, okay? So it goes all the way. And then there's a little slot for it. You got to turn it 90 degrees. Sorry, it's a little hard to see. There you go. See? So now it's in the right way. And you don't need like a wrench on the other end. Okay, and then now all we have to do is line up the triangle with the dog bones, okay? One thing I didn't do is service the dog bone, so the other part. Okay, so we're gonna go put this guy in. Remember the shorter one goes on the bottom. Just line up the dog bones. Okay. And yeah, just kind of move each one. I think I have to move the chain up on this one. Okay, it goes in. Make sure it goes in the little slot. I'm gonna wipe the excess grease off after we're done torquing it. Okay. I don't remember which one goes where, but I think they're the same. So we'll just put the dirtier one on the bottom one. Okay, I'm gonna just do it by hand first. It's a self-locking nut, so I don't think you need to put anything on it. Maybe you should, I don't know. I never have a problem with these coming loose. Okay, I will go get the torque specs now. Okay, so these should be really easy to get in because you don't even need to hold it on the other side. It holds it for you. How nice, right? I'm gonna just tighten it a little bit with the impact gun. Okay, and the torque is 44 foot-pounds is what the spec is for both of those nuts. I just looked it up in the manual right now. Okay, so we're gonna set our torque wrench to 44 foot-pounds. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. Okay, 44 foot-pounds. Use that same. Okay, starting to beep. 41. I probably want to hold the wheel. It might start moving. Yeah, it is. Okay. Okay. Double checked. Now the swing arm. Let's see down here. Okay. Hold the wheel. I'm holding the wheel down with my hand so the bike doesn't get pulled up. I guess you can torque it the other direction too. Probably helps. Okay. Okay. Double check. There we go. All done. Okay, and then what I'm going to want to do is clean off some of that excess grease that's poking out of there so it doesn't attract any dirt, okay? But this side looks good. Alright. Oh yeah, make sure you don't lose those little spacers that are on. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and clean the extra grease that's coming out of the link. The pivot, it's called a pivot bolt or something, or a tie rod bolt. Okay, no, looks good. All right, that's it. We're done. We're done modifying the linkage. So just to double check, we will go. Let's go pull this guy up here. Okay, I'm gonna pull up on the wheel, and you'll see it move. Plenty of clearance. There we go. And it moves nice and smooth now. Nice. Okay. Looks good. I'll show you a shot from the side. Okay, here's a side shot. I'm going to pick the wheel up, and you guys will see it move. Okay. Ooh, wow. Now that's good. There's about like a millimeter or two gap, so that's good. I like that. All right. Cool. Okay, now we are ready to reinstall the shock. So what we just finished, here is flipping the linkage over and grinding the shock, and then we serviced the linkage too. The one that needed the most grease was the one where the shock pivot is. Okay, so I definitely, there's not a really good seal on it, so that's probably what happened. The bearings were still okay; they were just really dry. Okay, so definitely that was a good thing to do. And then we just touched up the other ones, and then we painted it aluminum color so it would match the bike. It's pretty close match, okay, and it's an engine enamel paint, so it's pretty strong. Okay, so there it is. The linkage has been flipped. To tell you the truth, I had no idea what they were talking about, and I was looking at it and like, does that really work? So it does. Just the way everything moves. The linkage is an interesting device. So it's an interesting machine. Okay, that's what I want to say. Okay, so we're done. Now we're gonna have to modify the bike to fit the new shock. Okay, the KX100 shock. All right, here's my go.